Hello and good evening. I'm Julie Bartkus, and I'd like to welcome you to the Childcare Business Success Show. If you're tuning in with me live, we're coming to you at a little bit of a later time this evening. We got some crazy snow in the Chicagoland area, but I'm delighted to be here with you tonight. And our topic is going to be money and motivation. And, there's a lot of ways that money plays out in our childcare program. If we're an owner, it plays out in many different ways. If we're a director, it plays out in many different ways, where we're often thinking about money. How does money tie in with staff motivation? What do you do if somebody asks for a raise? How do you handle that? And also, what if you're an owner and you're feeling like there's a lack, or you're feeling the fear and desperation and you don't want to lose one client, because if you do, you see that as money walking out your door. So tonight I want to talk to you about some specific prosperity building techniques and strategies, and tie that in to the level of money you're able to have in your childcare program. Sound good? So if you're here, feel free to say hello and let me know what questions you've got about money and motivation, and I'll see if I can work those into my answers for this evening in terms of what I'm going to be revealing to you. Let me get this here so I'm up a little bit more. There we go. All right. So what do we want to know most about, money or motivation? If you've got a vote, go ahead and give it to us. And also, we are going to do some prizes. We've got our group engagement prize. And if you're not yet a member of our Childcare Business Success group, I encourage you to go on over there right now. Jana is standing by monitoring the group, and we'll probably be able to get you in there pretty quickly. And she'll also post the link here. But we are giving away a video marketing video for the person who's been the most engaged in that group for the week. And then also, I am going to be giving away some of the yummiest brownies on the planet this evening for the person who's most engaged in our forum while we're on live. So go ahead, say hello. Let me know you're tuning in. Brandon says money. All right, Brandon, if you have any very specific questions about money, if you do, please shoot them through and let me know, because then I know that we'll be talking about that topic. And just like we do everything in here at Childcare Business Success, is that I love to do things that are customized. So I love to get answers to your questions out there for you. Because we want to help you get to the next level of where you want to grow. So to me, that's not about cookie cutter systems. It's not about generalizations. It's not about here's a one size fits all. It's about what's a very specific answer to a question that you have. So Brandon, let's hear your question about money, and we're going to dive into that topic. And money has been a study of mine for many, many years, because there was a time in my life where I felt like I just wasn't making enough money, or I was at a certain threshold. And I really felt this calling. And I'm going to talk about a couple of the universal laws. So this is going to get into some of the laws of attraction and that kind of thing. So if you believe in the law of attraction, which most of my students do, it's going to be a more powerful teaching for you, because this is where the journey started for me when I started building my business and I was flatlining at a certain number, or I was caught up in this repeating pattern. I learned how to break out of that. And sometimes it was like magic when I made one shift with money or one shift with my mindset. It changed everything and how it was unfolding for me. And that's what I want to help you do this evening. So again, if you're a director, you're going to have different challenges with money than our owners would. But we could throw all those different questions out there and I'll answer what I can. And we'll probably go for just about 40 minutes or so this evening. And if I don't get to answer your questions tonight, I'll make sure we do that on a follow-up episode. Sound good? So I'm going to scroll back down here. Now, Brandon had a specific question regarding money. All right. So Brandon, yeah, I see some comments from Brandon. Let me know. So Brandon says that they might be downsizing. Done soon. What do you think? So downsizing in terms, Brandon, I want to make sure I'm getting your question right. So if you could ask me maybe a complete question, because he says we're working better to determine our breakpoints per room with profitability. So we might be downsizing done soon. What do you think? Second teacher in any room is warranted. How many children over ratio? Okay, so I'm not sure, Brandon, what your specific question is, but I want to share with you some starting points with money. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hide this. Okay. So your journey with money has to start with your belief. And this is where the mindset shift comes in. It has to start with your belief that what you desire is possible. And this is true whether it's money or whether it's people. And typically it's money, it's people, it's time. Those are the three main areas that we're running into with our childcare owners and directors when it comes to feelings of lack, when it comes to feelings of fear, when it comes to feeling of desperation. We feel overwhelmed, we feel stressed, we feel like there aren't enough people in this industry, we feel that there's not enough people in our life for us. So then it all just leads to that feeling of fear and that feeling of you have to contract what you're doing instead of expanding it. But tonight I want you to entertain the idea that everything that you need to support your vision and to support your desires is already here. So one of the first steps is to really get clear around how much money you want to bring into your business. And if you visit us at childcarebusinesssuccess.com, we do profitability analysis with our childcare owners. So we can look at your business model and say, okay, is this a good model you have in place, or are there pieces of the puzzle missing? So take a look and really get clear on what it is that you want to create. Now, Brandon, if you're thinking about downsizing your childcare program, I want to ask you a question, and I want you to really think about this, and you might not even have the answer for me tonight, but I want you to think about, does this thought come out of fear, or does it come out of a place of being a visionary? So when we're in our visionary mindset, typically we're thinking about expansion. We're thinking about big. We're getting dreamy with what we want to bring to life. When we're thinking about fear or letting fear manifest in our lives, we typically pull back on any kind of big plans. We cut down, we scale, we start, getting all the coupons and Groupons and all that kind of stuff out. And what I want you to do is really tonight think about what is the expansive space for you energetically that you can step into. Now, an expansive space for you energetically might mean that you go smaller, and it might mean that you go really large. I'm not sure. That is a question for you to truly answer. And when you look at creating more prosperity in your life, it's tied in directly with your desires. So your desires help fuel your vision. They help feed your vision. But too often we spend a lot of time judging our desires. And when I say judging, it's kind of like if you were to walk by a jewelry store and you saw a really beautiful necklace and you're like, wow, that is gorgeous. Or maybe it's a shoe store or a food store, whatever it might be. And instead of letting yourself dream and expand your thoughts and the vision of what would it be like to wear that? What would it be like to own that? What would it be like to have that in my closet? We go to, no, you know what? I don't really need that. Nope, can't afford it. No, who do I think I am to want that thing? So those are fear-based thoughts as opposed to visionary thoughts. And I want you to start paying very close attention to which set of thoughts is dictating the action that you're taking. Because if you're feeling lack, fear, desperation, and your mind trails downward with those thoughts, the visionary thoughts are going to be put aside, and you're not going to be stepping into that dreamy place that is here, that is ready for you. And you're not going to be letting your energy shine to a certain level to where the people who you need to support your vision can see you. And this is where most of our owners and directors will go into hiding. We don't get the vision out there on a broad enough level. Everybody in the community doesn't know what that vision is. We're not talking about it like we're excited and we're on fire. And when you are excited and you're on fire, that's when you attract greater levels of success to yourself, which includes money and people. But it can be a scary place for a lot of people to go to. And I'll check in questions for in a little while. But, Brandon, the whole point here is to really recognize, and this is for everybody, because I was on one call today with an owner and she says, oh no, I'm definitely in a visionary mindset. But then everything that came out of her mouth was a fear. It was a fear, a fear, a fear, a fear, and a fear. So if you have all of these fear-based thoughts, it isn't going to get you into the visionary shoes that you need to be in to grow your childcare program, to grow your childcare business. And the fear plays out in all different ways. Even if we have a staff member who says, hey, I'd really like to make more money, you come back and you say, hey, wait a second, what are you thinking? This is only childcare. That's a fear-based thought. If it's a salesperson who says, oh man, I've got this thing that will really help you, that will change your life. And you say, man, who do you think we are? This is only childcare. We don't make that kind of money. These are fear-based thoughts. And although you might be saying, well, Julie, but these are pretty realistic thoughts. Yes, they can be very realistic thoughts because it's reality that you created. But can you step beyond the current reality that you created to step into something that is something that you have not yet brought into your reality because you haven't been able to see it with your eyes? Most of our owners that I speak with get caught up in these repeating patterns of not having enough money, not being able to do this, not being able to do that. And it goes back to money, 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 money. And I want to tell you right now a big secret. Are you ready for a secret? Give me an oh yeah. If you're tuning into this and you're liking the content, give me an oh yeah, Julie, I am ready for a secret. Because I want to share it with you. And I did a training the other day, and if you didn't register for it, I encourage you to grab it. It was my 5 simple steps to help you manage, motivate, and retain great staff. And I revealed this secret during that training as well. So I want you to grab this. And John, if you're on with me, please post the link so that people can sign up for 5 simple steps to help you manage, motivate, and retain great staff. It was a totally free training. So I encourage you to sign up for that training, grab that content, and really benefit from it. But I want to give you the secret. So let me hear what Tara is saying here. My fears definitely hold me back, and it does come back to money, right? Our fears about money control so many different things. All right, Corey, new listener this evening. Oh yeah, I need a secret. Fantastic, Corey. Make sure you grab the 5 simple steps as well from Jana, okay? And John, if you're on with me, and if John is not here for some reason, I don't see the link get posted, I will post it after the show wraps up for everybody to grab that. So I want to go ahead and reveal a secret to you. Okay, let me see if I can get back up here and type this in real quick. Okay, so this is a money and motivation secret. So the secret is that you've got to move beyond what you see with your eyes. You've got to move beyond what your reality is dictating to you with what you see with your eyes. And you have to go to this place. And Napoleon Hill wrote about this in his book called Think and Grow Rich. And Think and Grow Rich revealed 2 different secrets. One was you have to really tune in and pay attention to your desires. Your desires will fuel your vision if you listen, okay? The other part is imagination. So it's about desire and then imagination. So what you want to do is engage your active imagination daily. When you get to the place, Corey, where you're feeling fear, then you want to go to a place in your imagination that says, wait a second, there is abundance, and I'm going to visualize everything I want to bring into existence, that it's here right now in my life. So then you close your eyes for 3 minutes or 5 minutes every time you need to, and you visualize a whole different reality. And here's the secret. And this part so far was talked about in the book, The Secret, but it really skips some crucial steps. And the step is not just to think about what we want, because imagine if single thing that we thought about came into fruition. I mean, we would be in trouble because we don't always have really great thoughts. And we could change our thoughts and choose what thoughts we dwell on. And like one of my favorite motivational speakers and authors, Norman Vincent Peale, said, if we could change our thoughts, we could change our world. And this is true. And in Napoleon Hill's book, he interviewed people during the times of the Depression when businesses were collapsing. But there were also in those times people who were making themselves into millionaires. So he wanted to know, what are the secrets? Why is it that some businesses are failing and collapsing and others are thriving, growing, and making millions? And he came down to two different things in his book: desire and, second, imagination. So are you listening to your desires without judging? And are you writing those desires down? Are you building those desires into a vision board or a scrapbook? And then using your imagination to be in the place that these things have already happened. I tell you what, here's the secret. If you're really able to feel, to generate the feelings as if the thing you want in your life is already here, you will attract it to yourself in lightning speed. And this is truth. And I've seen it happen over and over and over in my own life when I really get to the place where I'm feeling like something is here for me. It shows up quicker than ever before. But if I'm sitting in a place where I'm like, oh, I'd kind of like that to happen, but I'm kind of afraid of that happening. And there are fears that you have to recognize about bringing the money that you want into your life. And these fears might be, well, who's going to want more money from me? And what am I going to be responsible for? And what are people going to think? Or people who have money aren't nice. Whatever it might be, there are fears that come up around money where you're not allowing yourself to really go to this imagination place of feeling like you have enough. So I want you to really practice having these two words in place: desire. So tap into what your desires are. And in my Childcare Business Success book, I talked about desires. After the death of my husband, the instant death of my husband, I was sitting there in my 1904 farmhouse. It was like a barn. And I was sitting there thinking, how did I get here? And why am I in this house? Do I even want this house? And I realized for so long and so much of my life, I was doing things for other people. I was getting this house, I was getting this animal, I was doing this, I was doing that. It was about everybody else, but it wasn't about me. My desires got suppressed. My desires got pushed off. But then once I was standing there alone in my house, in this old house, I really started to think to myself, what is it that I really want? Who am I? And what do I want? And you've got to get in touch with these two questions if you're going to bring a really dreamy vision for your childcare program to life, because you cannot do it with a cup that is half empty, or you can't do it from a place of being needy so that everybody else around you feels like, oh my goodness, you're a needy person and I've got to come into your life to fulfill a need. We need to bring people into our life who enhance the energy that we've already got in place. And that's, my goal for anybody who I bring into my life, whether it is a friend, a lover, whoever it might be, is that they enhance my energy. And that's what it's going to take for you too, is to surround yourself with people who enhance your energy. And at the same time, you're enhancing their energy. So it's really a two-way streak in terms of how we surround ourselves with circumstances that will really serve our vision in a powerful way. All right, so I'm going to go over here and see what some of you are saying about what I've been sharing so far. I'm going to check in here, make sure. Okay, make sure we're all good. I'm getting some messages from my team, so I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me okay. All right, so if you're relating to what we're saying about money and motivation, give me an oh yeah, or if you've got any questions, I'm going to go now and look through the comments and see what some folks are saying here. Hey, Angela, nice to see you here. I love that profile picture. Look at that face. I think I fear the success of the things I really want, if that makes sense. And we fear the success, but we also have to think about fearing what success means. And this was a big concept when I started working with one of my money mentors when I first started studying money many years ago, is to really think is that most of us aren't afraid of success. It's like, oh, there's success, I'm going to run from it. Most of us really want it, but there are things that come along with success. And there are people who might not be so cheerful for us if we accomplish certain levels of success. So really think, Angela, about success and what that means to you and why some people might not be so excited about it. And it might be people, it might be other situations and circumstances that you think will play out in your life if success unfolds. But this is where you can just go to a place of imagination, activate your imagination, and start thinking, even imagining the people around you being really happy for you. And, this is where some of the heavy lifting comes with prosperity and with mindset, is that sometimes people, regardless of how much you want them to change, how happy you want them to be for you, is they're not going to, because they're on their own journey. But the biggest thing to do, and I've heard stories of people who have walked away from all personal relationships for a period of 6 months to a year so that they could really hone in on their mindset and not be impacted by others' thoughts, actions, and words who are around them. So sometimes we do lose friends in the process. Sometimes people do lose husbands. But what do you want to have come true in your life? Your vision, or hanging on to relationships that may or may not serve you? And that's a very personalized question. And that could be a whole other topic in itself. And it's usually a really good personal conversation to have. But there are times when there are relationships that will just absolutely sabotage the vision that we're trying to bring into fruition. And if you know what I'm saying and can relate, again, give me an oh yeah, yes, I know, because relationships are a huge factor when it comes to money. I'm going to type that in here real quick so people are watching. Oops. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm typing and I talk much faster than I type. Okay. So I'm just going to show this here. So it's relationships and their impact on money. So really choose who you're letting into your inner circle carefully, especially when you're trying to be in a more prosperous place. Especially our owners out there, you've got to really think, is the energy I'm surrounding myself with serving me, or is it sabotaging me? And studies show that we will make, on average, the same amount of money as like our 6 or 7 closest friends. So watch what circle you're hanging on to. And if you've got friends who are not at the caliber where you want to be with your money, think about a mastermind group, think about a mentorship, think about getting involved in a community of millionaires in your area or wherever you might want to be, because that is who you need to surround yourself with so that your energetic attraction towards money can increase instead of decrease. And will help you overcome some barriers too, in terms of maybe what you think about people who have millions of dollars. Maybe you need to change that. Maybe there was an experience you had when you were younger of somebody who had a lot of money in your family and they were perceived as not being very nice. And of course, we're in childcare, we want to be perceived as nice. So we're not going to have the level of money that those not so nice people had. So there's all different kinds of things that come into play. And if you want to have a private conversation with me, you can get yourself on my calendar. John is standing by here, but you can also just shoot us an email, support@childcarebusinesssuccess.com, and we'll get you on my calendar so that we can have a conversation, and we'll just take 20 minutes to really put you on your fast path to profits with money. So let's hear. So Brandon says, yep, very true. Hey, Angel, nice to see you here. Angel says those relationships are usually difficult to sever, but it will benefit you when you let go. Absolutely. So Angel, it sounds like you've had to let go of some relationships in the past. And I know that I have. And, I've been fortunate that I haven't had to just cut the strings to many relationships. But what I have done is distance myself to where if there are conversations going on that do not serve me, I become an observer of the conversation. So it's really important that you become an observer of the conversations that don't serve you. Now, what do I mean by becoming an observer? It means that you emotionally Remove yourself, and you do not get triggered by any conversations anybody else is having. You stay true and steadfast to your vision that you are working so hard to achieve. So you stay true to that. You've got the vision going on in your mind. And even when somebody brings up something negative that you're not going to entertain, you keep the picture of the vision unfolding in your mind. And then you just become an observer and you say, isn't it interesting that they're having that conversation? And isn't it absolutely fantastic that I don't have to be involved in those conversations about money and that I could just stand here and observe? So become an observer of conversations. And I really honed my skill in my thinking, and that I am really aware of every single thought that I have for the most part. I'm human. Don't get me wrong, I'm human, but I'm very aware of the thoughts that I'm thinking. So if I'm at a family get together, and the holidays are coming up, so it's a perfect time to address this. But if I'm at a family get together, I will stand back and just observe, because a lot of times at these gatherings, the conversation is the same year after year after year after year after year. Would you agree? Do you witness that? Do you hear that? That conversations are the same year after year after year after year. So what you want to do is say, interesting conversations they're having. You could try to interject a new conversation, or you could pull a book out, read that book, or just in your mind, be visualizing your vision. And this is a strategy that I love to use. I love to be inside of my own imagination, visualizing what we're going to bring to life. I love to be in that space. But it is a muscle that I had to learn how to hone year after year after year after year. And it's so worth it, though, to be able to do it. So the two words for this evening, our theme, is desire and imagination when it comes to money. And there's all different levels of dealing with money in your childcare program. But you can't be in a place of abundance and prosperity and a place of lack at the same time. So be very careful what messages you're sending to your staff about money and anybody else who interacts with your childcare program. Make sure you are having conversations that are abundance, visionary driven. So what do you do if a staff member comes up to you and says, hey, I want a raise? And you're like, oh, well, really? Well, I would like to pay myself, and that'd be nice. But what you want to do is have a conversation with them that goes something along the lines of, great, let me know what value you would like to add to our childcare program, and we could talk about how to make what you would like to make into a reality. And perhaps there's a commission structure. Perhaps there's a bonus structure that you can put into place for employees who are of that mindset where they want to make more money. And you can put something into place where if they help the business grow, you're going to give them a bonus, you're going to give them an incentive, whatever it might be. Now, our referral programs, typically, a lot of times they fall flat. People aren't taking advantage of them, whether it's parents or staff. So that's something to be careful of. But I would really hone the conversations and the mindset around, we have abundance. We have enough money. And with every word that comes out of your mouth, be reiterating that in some fashion. So by you saying to an employee who comes up to you and says, wow, I'd really like to make more money, you could say, I would love for you to make some more money too. Let's talk and brainstorm about the value that you can add to our childcare program so we can make that happen. Make sense? All right, let's talk about salespeople for a moment. Ready? Because I know some of you get approached by salespeople on the phone, or maybe they stop into your center, or you meet them at a conference or at an event, and right away your thoughts might be like, oh, we can't afford that. We can't afford that. Remember, you got to pay attention to your desire. Is your gut telling you that this is a right service or product for you? And if it is, I want you to entertain the conversation with the salesperson and welcome them with open arms and say, I am so glad you showed up because you just might have the solution to my biggest challenge, or whatever you want to say, but you welcome that conversation. Here's what I found. If you are not open to being sold to, you will not be good at selling people on your service and your products. Do you get that? If you're not open to being sold to, if you're dead set against nobody's going to sell you on anything, chances are you are not going to be very good at selling things yourself because your mindset is going to go to a place of resistance or a place of buying other people's stories when it comes to the sales process. So just like you want salespeople to buy your story, you want other people, or you're going to buy other people's stories who can't necessarily afford your services. So keep in mind that with prosperity, we're always buying or selling something. So when you stand in your empowerment shoes, your empowered shoes, as I like to call them, when you stand in that position, you are the one who is always selling somebody. And even if it's a salesperson who comes in to sell you something, you can sell them back on the vision of your childcare program. You can sell them back on something, but don't let your confidence dwindle because you start fearing, we don't have enough money. Who does this person think we are? We don't have enough money. So keep in mind that the thoughts you think and the words you speak are a thermometer as to where your mindset truly is. Now, a lot of owners and a lot of directors will say, oh, yes, Julie, my mindset is up here. But then when we get into conversation and talking about money, you could hear fear, 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 fear. And I'm not judging it, but I just want to increase awareness around it because I think profitability in our childcare programs can be so much higher if we embrace some universal laws of prosperity and if we are open to having conversations about money, embrace them and have fun with them. And if staff want to make more money, maybe as part of an orientation process, you bring in a financial planner or somebody who could help them with their budgeting or whatever it might be so that they could be in a more empowered place when it comes to money and having money. All right. So let me hear from you. What questions do you have? I know John is posting some golden nuggets. And Jonna, thank you so much. All right. And let's see, Tara says, and I've got some more nuggets to share with you. And this is a topic I could probably talk 3 days about. I have just learned to do this, and it truly is eye-opening. Fantastic. All right. Hey, Francine, nice to have you here. I've been seeing your name in some different places, so nice to see you. Maybe it's just some holiday post on Facebook. All right. So, Tara, I would love to get on your calendar. I think John is going to be making that happen. All right. Angela says, thanks. I'm keeping my eyes on the prize. Brandon says, very true. Awesome. All right. Those relationships are usually difficult to, I think we had that comment up already, but when you let go, it will benefit you. All right. Lots of oh yes. And absolutely, Angel, some people's visions will definitely clash with ours. All right. All right, just going through to see any comments here. Hey, Mindy, nice to have you here. This is a great reminder for myself. Fantastic. Glad to hear it. And Brandon, let's see, he says, again, I have to make myself remember that I must fill my cup if I'm going to fill others' cups. You know, and this can be one of the hardest pieces, especially when you're busy and you're meeting deadlines and you're trying to take care of everybody else. It is filling your own cup. But you've got to be able to do that, or you will never, ever, ever experience true feelings of abundance. You've got to first and foremost feel like there is enough for you. And I don't care if that means instead of getting an hour massage, you get a 15-minute massage. You do what you can, but you're treating yourself to the opulence you deserve. So put in your mind a money talk filter and start seeing what is coming out negative and what's coming out positive. What makes you feel really excited about money? And there's one book that has been like a Bible of mine as I've been studying prosperity, and it's called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, and it is by Catherine Ponder. And I really encourage everyone to get that book. My private clients have gotten it, whether it's on audio or in book format, but get that book and start studying it. There is some powerful information in there. But the more you use your mind to really tap in to what you desire and know in full confidence that it's here, the more you're going to attract those situations, people, money to you. I want to give you some specific strategies when it comes to money. So mindset is always going to be number one. It's what are you saying about money? What are you thinking about money? What are you telling other people about money? And if the thoughts are, I don't have any, who do you think you are asking me for money? That's all lack, fear, desperation, fear. So we want to change the dialogue. You want to change the dialogue that you're having with yourself, and you want to change the words that you're speaking to others about money. And like I said, this is going to be a muscle that you build. So now I want to give you some specific strategies that are going to be in alignment with your money mindset. All right. So these are going to be strategies that are in alignment with your money mindset. So let me go here. I'm just going to put here. Bear with me. So we're going to talk a little bit about your money mindset. I'm going to show this. All right. So your money mindset, it's very powerful, and part of it is just the thoughts that you think and the words that you're speaking, but then it's also about, well, what action are you going to take? So I want you to start playing with the idea of money. And I want you to wake up in the morning excited for all the money that you are going to find or bring into your life for that day. And I want you to focus on that. Focus on the excitement around money. And some of this might sound very maybe airy-fairy to some people, but it is a universal law that what you focus on expands. And what you feel happening in your life, once you really feel it, it's going to start happening like magic. So focus on money. From the time you wake up in the morning, go, it's a great day. I can't wait to see how much money I attract into my life today. And then visualize money flying into your purse, money flying into your wallet, money flying into your bank account, money affording you all the different amazing things that you want in your life, and really feel it happening. And if we had more time, I would go through a visualization exercise with you, but just let it flow and see it in your mind. Okay. So see it in your mind. Then start your day with positive expectancy that money is going to be coming in, and you don't know where it's going to come in from, but it's going to come from all different places. And I had a client who was able to shift her mindset around money. And one day somebody walked in with a multi-$1,000 check. It was it was up and getting into the teens, and just said, hey, I want you to have this. I know you'll put it to good use, but I like what you're doing and just wanted to give this to you, no strings attached, for thousands of dollars. Wow. So when you wake up in the morning, start looking around, start seeing where's the money. Look on the ground as you walk, look wherever you go, and you'll start finding money. Now, here's the trick. You might start seeing a penny. And a lot of people see that penny and then they put it right to the wayside and say, oh, you know what? That's just a penny. What good is that going to do me? So that's sending the universe a very clear message that you don't care about that penny showing up for you. So when you find that penny on the ground or wherever you find it, I want you to celebrate that penny. And this is something that Jack Canfield in one of his books even talked about doing, is that he celebrates every single penny he finds. And there was a time in my life where every single dime, dollar, penny I found, whatever it was, I put it into a special jar that was my prosperity jar. And still to this date, I have one. I don't know if you could see it sitting behind me on my desk back there. And it's just a little prosperity jar. And I'll talk to you about the prosperity jar thing because there's some brilliance around that as well. But find money, put it somewhere, thank God for that money, and be prepared to attract more. So find a penny, you're going to find another penny, you're going to find another penny, you're going to find a dime, you're going to find a nickel, you might find a 20, whatever it might be. But money is going to start trying to find its way into your life. So start celebrating every single penny you find, and not from a place of fear, but from a place of thank you. More is coming and I cannot wait. Now, if you decide not to pick up the penny, what I want you to do is to say, I am incredibly excited. I'm not going to pick up that penny, but I'm incredibly excited for the person who is going to pick up that penny and who is going to celebrate that, because it's a sign of abundance in their own life. So start celebrating the money that you do find. All right. So let's hear. So Brandon says, yes. Corey says, that's funny you mentioned a penny. I pick up all the money, including the penny, and say to myself, in God we trust. Yep, absolutely. Good for you. And I bet you find bigger and bigger amounts of money. All right, what if you are not sure about what your vision is, or the vision needs to be baby steps, but you just want to jump from the treetop to treetop and skip the baby steps? This is where the hard work comes into play with the vision, because there is some hard work. And this is why a lot of people think about vision, but they don't really put together a vision statement that sets their soul on fire. They don't. They just get something out there, get it done, and put a thumbtack through it and say, okay, it's done. You've got to do the heavy lifting with your vision. You've got to get to a place, and here's the secret with this, Corey, is you've got to get to a place where you are emotionally connected to the vision. If you're not emotionally connected to the vision, nobody else is going to be emotionally connected to that vision. So you first and foremost have to be emotionally connected to it. And the emotional connection piece is where a lot of our clients struggle, and where owners and directors can give up because they don't know how to get there. But we've got a process that makes that incredibly easy. So make sure that your vision is something you feel either tears of joy over, or a happy dance, or just incredibly excited about. It is your vision. It is your baby. You need to be emotionally connected to it. And if you're not, nobody else will be. And it's one of the fastest ways to grow your childcare program is to make sure that you are connected to your vision, and it is expanding and growing every single day. And once you're able to get that piece right, like magic, things can start to shift. Things can start to shift for you. So it is hard work to get that emotional connected piece right, but it is so worth it. And you will start experiencing transformations that you only imagine possible, and will start coming to you very, very fast. So let me give you a few additional strategies before we wrap up this evening show. And like I said, money is a topic of passion for me. And I studied it many, many years ago. I started the study of it and started thinking there's something I'm missing here with money, because I'm only able to attract or get to a certain point with money. How do I blow this out of the water? So I really started looking at every single resource, looking at different mentors who specialized in money, invested a ton of money in myself to really master a money mindset. And it's still work to hone, because everything out there, whether you turn on the news, the radio, or talk to your mother or your lover or your brother or whoever, you're going to start hearing lack thoughts about money. And that's where you've really got to hold true and steadfast to, I always attract abundance into my life. Isn't it incredible how money always shows up at the exact right time? And these are things to say to yourself, and these are things to let yourself feel. Let yourself feel. And that's when you make a big shift happen. Okay. So, and Angela, who's one of my clients, was here, and she knows that I preach about having money everywhere. I want you to go to the bank. I want you to get out some money, and I want you, every place that you feel lack and scarcity, put money. I have money in my car. I've got money on my dressers. I've got money right behind me. I've got money in my purse. And there was a time where I didn't have money or cash money around, but there's a feeling of opulence you get when you actually have physical money on your person. So when I go into my car, there's a compartment there, there's money. I have jars of money, my prosperity jars. And I'm always reaffirming that money is flowing into these places. And probably for me doing this show this evening, more and more money is going to flow in, because I'm focusing on it. I'm talking about it. So it's going to expand in an amazingly wonderful way. And that's the thing that's true for you as well, once you get to that place where you really feel it. So make sure that you have money everywhere. And I don't care if it's a dime or a nickel or a dollar bill or 100, start putting it in places so that you feel that there is always money. And start also looking at your bills. One huge shift that happened for me is when I started setting all of my bills up on bill pay. And it was amazing that once I let go and I just trusted in the universe that money was going to be here to provide for these bills, that money just started flowing in, and there was never a time where a draft would be taken and there wouldn't be money there to cover that thing. So trust in the universe that everything needful is going to be provided, and set your bills up on auto pay so you don't have to think about that bill anymore. And it's been a long time since I've looked at several of my bills, but do it in a way so that you are just letting go and having faith that the money is going to be there for you. So set yourself up on auto pay with whatever you can so that your bills are automatically paid and that you don't have to worry about it. When I made that shift, that's when magic started happening. And I was like, wow, isn't that really cool that not only is the money here to pay these bills, but now it's here for bigger things as well. Also, another thing with money is to make sure that you are profiting first. And there's a whole book written about this, but it's something that I wholeheartedly believe in. There's a couple of things that I believe in. Tithing is one of them, but also paying yourself. I want you to look at an account that you can't touch. And we use Capital One. But you could set up an account that's separate from your regular bank accounts or your checking accounts and set it up so there's an auto draft done. Pay yourself first. And some of my clients who start with me on this, we just do $5 or $10 or $20 or $100, whatever they feel comfortable with. But I have clients who make multi-million dollars in sales and they don't have any money sitting there for themselves because everything they make goes right back out into the business. And there's one sure way to increase your profitability as an owner or even as a director, as a leader in this industry, but to take your paycheck or to take what's coming in sales for your business and pay yourself first. So decide right here, right now, what that dollar amount is going to be. And make a commitment. You could shoot it through in the comments if you would like to. But make a commitment that you are going to start monthly putting away $100, $5, $10. I don't care. But you could go to Capital One, set up a digital account for yourself, and it will auto draft from whatever account you set it to. And then when you get comfortable with that amount, then double that amount and double that amount and double that amount so that before you know it, you've got $1,000 sitting there for you, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. So that money is there for you so that you can invest what will grow your life and grow your childcare program. So start right here, right now. So in a year from now, when we're having a conversation, you could say, Julie, yes, I've got several $1,000s in an account that I set up after watching you on the Childcare Business Success Show. So let me know if that sounds like something that you are going to do and something that you're going to commit to. And please put that through in the comments. All right. So I like this, Corey. Good transparency. So Corey says, okay, you just opened up a new fear in me by telling me to pay myself first, right? See, but that gives you a really good clue in terms of what you need to change. So if you get a fear that pops up when somebody's saying, well, pay yourself first, you're going, how can I possibly do that? You just make a decision to do it. The decision comes first. The how will reveal itself second. Too many of us are sitting there waiting for the how to show up, that we're not making decisions. And success and money loves speed. And I'll be the first to admit that there are areas of my business and my life where I am not moving fast enough. But there are areas where I move incredibly fast, and then you witness miracles happening. So Corey, get over the fear and make a decision right here, right now, that you are going to pay yourself first because you are worth it. Did you get it? Because you are worth it to pay yourself first. And I don't care if you pay yourself $1, $10, $50, $100, but you make a decision tonight to set up that account and have an auto draft made so that you have money growing in your prosperity or your just in case account, whatever it might be. And the cool thing with Capital One is that you can do a lot of auto drafts, and you could actually have sub accounts where you label them with what their intent is. Okay. Before we wrap up, I'm going to share with you another strategy about money and mindset. If you're here tuning in and you want one last strategy about money and mindset from me, give me an oh yeah, and I'm going to wrap up with one last strategy and idea about money. And I love seeing the comments here that are coming through. So thanks everyone for tuning in. And in just a few moments, we are going to be raffling off or giving away to our most engaged person for the evening some of the yummiest brownies on the planet. So if you have not yet been engaged, feel free to submit your questions through or your comments or your ahas, and that will qualify you to get some of the yummiest brownies on the planet. All right. So one final strategy that I'm going to share with you regarding money and mindset is to think about what you're going to do with the money. A lot of people will say, oh, I just want $1 million, or I just want $10,000. And that is because it comes from a place of fear, and they just want enough so they don't have to feel the pain of not having enough money. What you want to do is to build excitement in the direction of your vision. Do you get it? What you want to do is build excitement in the direction of your vision, because visionaries are never running away from something. They're moving towards something to create something, to expand something. So the same thing is true with money. Is I want you to start thinking about what you want in your life. What kind of house do you want to live in? What kind of vehicle do you want to drive? What kind of clothes do you want to wear? Whatever it might be. And I want you to start thinking about those things and then start getting really excited to bring those things into your life. And some of those things might include self-care. So it might be Brandon going out and getting a massage. It might mean Corey that you go buy yourself several bouquets of flowers and always be surrounded by opulent flowers. That sends you a clear message that there is enough in this universe and you are worth it. All right. So that's my final strategy for this evening. Jonna, do we have a winner for our brownies? You could go ahead if you want, Jonna, and announce it through the comments. And then I will just go ahead and read it and congratulate our person on their brownie win. But we'd love to send out brownies. And our Chief of Happiness, Loretta, is not here this evening, but she sends out our brownies with a nice congratulations card. And I can't wait to see who our winner is for this evening. And if you're just tuning in now to the show, I really encourage you, after we wrap up, come back and rewatch it, because there's a lot of gold in this. And if you want to get on a call with me so we could talk more about money, please let Jonna know that you would like a private strategy session, and we'll go from there. Also, if there's any questions or comments that I didn't get to, I will go back through and read them and then come back and answer in an additional episode of the Child Care Business Success Show or future video. All right. So, Jonna, do we have brownie winners? What do you think? Winners or brownie winner? And it's up to you, Jonna. You could post right in the comments, or I'll go to Facebook and see if you've sent it to me there. I have an idea, though, who it should be. Let's see if we're on the same page. And it's just for our most engaged person for the evening. So let's see. Okay. All right, I don't see Jonna coming through with a brownie winner here. So I'm just going to go ahead, and if she comes back and announces somebody and I'm just missing it, we will honor that and just give out to you. But I'm going to award, yes, okay, good. Jonna did come through. Jonna, that's who I was just going to announce. So Corey, congratulations. You are our brownie winner for this evening. Jonna will be sending you a prize claim for, and please allow 30 days for you to get your brownies. We don't make them from scratch, but sometimes it does take a little bit of time for you to get them in the mail. So please allow some time. And Corey, congratulations. You're going to enjoy these brownies immensely. All right. Yeah, it's all my snow. Do I keep freezing up on everybody? I'm not sure. It probably is the snow. All right. Cheryl says we picked Corey. Yeah, I picked Corey too. Okay, fantastic. All right, so that's going to wrap up the Childcare Business Success Show. I hope the replay is not frozen for those of you who were having difficulty, but we did have just a crazy amount of snow yesterday, and I was actually out driving around, and I found some holiday lights. And if you're not yet following me on my personal page, I encourage you to friend me on my personal page. That's right. Friend me on my personal page. Jana, you can post the link if you like. And you could take a look at my pictures and my video from the Christmas lights yesterday that I took during the storm. But I went out into the snowstorm and captured some Christmas lights, and it was really quite cool being out there when nobody else was on the road. A little scary at times, but fun. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let's hide this. Oh, let's see what Corey has to say. My computer's freezing a little bit here, so bear with me. All right, Corey, thanks. I love this show for it being my very first time. Awesome, Corey. We are thrilled that you're here, and make sure you come on and join our Childcare Business Success community if you haven't already done so. All right, well, that's going to wrap up our show for this evening. I go ahead and hide this. So this is wrapping up the Childcare Business Success Show. Make sure you tune into our YouTube channel where we posted all the replays of the shows. And in a very short few days, I'm also going to be making an announcement about the new site that we're creating for you. It's a new home for childcare owners and directors, and we are totally revamping our Childcare Business Success site. If you want a little sneak peek, go over there right now. There's actually a free training. It's the 5 Simple Step training. It's listed there as one of the freebies that you can grab. I encourage you to go visit and, let me know what you think of the site. But we're putting the final touches on it, so everything is not working yet, but we will be announcing that it will be up and running. My guess is in the next 3 to 5 days, but go over and take a little sneak peek at childcarebusinesssuccess.com and let me know what you think. And I can't wait to have it fully up and running, and just a fantastic resource for you. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Julie Bartkus, Workplace Transformationalist, and best-selling author of Childcare Business Success. Make sure you go get your copy if you haven't already done so. And I look forward to helping you create your positive, productive, and profitable childcare program. Have a fantastic evening. Thank you for being here with me. And even if you're tuning into the replay, make sure you say hello, participate. I do come back and read comments that were submitted live as well as via our replay. I'll see you all very soon. Bye.